philosophical script, titled The 5 Rooms Where Life Finally Makes Sense, argues that true wisdom isn't found in books but in physical locations that strip away ego. These 5 places act as mirrors, forcing you to confront what truly matters. The goal is to create a high-emotion, cinematic narrative, moving beyond a simple top 5 list.
So, these locations are metaphors for life lessons. Which location is presented first, and what perspective does it offer on our daily lives?
The first place is the hospital, which teaches the fragility of the normal. We assume our health is permanent until we see someone fighting just to breathe. This realization reframes our perception of basic functions like walking or waking up without pain as the ultimate wealth, not just something fine.
That shifts perspective quickly. If the hospital deals with physical fragility, what does the second location, the prison, teach us about our internal state?
The prison teaches the gravity of the inner world, showing it as a graveyard of impulsive moments. It illustrates how one unhealed wound can lead to a terrible choice and a life you never intended to live. True freedom, therefore, is internal control over one's own shadow, not just physical liberty.
That's a deep dive into personal accountability. What about the third location, the cemetery, which seems like the natural endpoint of life?
The cemetery is presented as the audit of love, the only place where the rat race truly ends. When you look at a headstone, you see only dates and a name, not achievements or follower counts. It forces the realization that the lingering question is how well you lived and how deeply you loved.
That sounds like a powerful emotional anchor for the video. After the end, what does the delivery room represent in this sequence of life lessons?
The delivery room represents the universe's yes, serving as the raw, holy beginning following the end at the cemetery. Watching a human being arrive from nowhere reminds us that despite global darkness, the universe is constantly choosing to begin anew. It affirms that we were all once a new hope.
That creates a beautiful symmetry with the cemetery. Finally, what is the fifth and perhaps most profound location, the orphanage, meant to teach us about relationships?
The orphanage teaches the true definition of chosen, which is the core of love. It shows that children don't need grand gestures or expensive gifts, they need the return. Love is defined not as a feeling, but as the consistent act of showing up when you are not obligated to be there.
These 5 lessons are incredibly weighty. How does the script conclude, ensuring viewers take action rather than just feeling reflective?
The conclusion uses the loop outro to encourage engagement without sounding forced. The host asks which place taught the viewer the most, or if a 6th place was missed, inviting conversation in the comments. Crucially, it asks viewers to share the content if it shifted their perspective even slightly.
That's a smart way to drive shares and comments simultaneously. Were there any specific production tips mentioned to enhance the virality of this philosophical piece?
Yes, the document stresses the B-roll strategy for visual enhancement. While speaking, high-quality, slow-motion footage of the locations should be overlaid. Think empty hospital hallways or a newborn's hand. This cinematic approach makes the podcast feel expensive and trustworthy.
So, combining high-stakes narrative structure with cinematic visuals and deep philosophical anchors seems to be the ultimate formula presented here. Thank you for breaking down these complex templates.
Exactly, whether using the challenge template for action or the contrarian framework for debate, the underlying goal is maximizing retention through structured emotional arcs. The philosophical script serves as the ultimate example of high-production, high-emotion storytelling that resonates deeply.
I feel much clearer now on how to approach creative